The Jewish Book of 1st Enoch. Topic of the Watchers. Chapter 1. 1. The words of the blessing of Enoch through which he blessed the chosen and just, who will exist on the day of tribulation when all the wicked and impious will be removed. 2. And then answered and spoke Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God so that he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed to me, and from them I heard everything, and I knew what I saw, but not for this generation, but for the far-off generations which are to come. 3. Concerning the chosen I spoke and conversed concerning them with the Holy and Great One, who will come from his abode, the God of the world. 4. And from there he will step on to Mount Sinai, and appear with his hosts, and appear in the strength of his power from heaven. 5. And all will fear, and the watchers will tremble, and great fear and terror will seize them to the ends of the earth. 6. And the exalted mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be lowered and will melt like wax before the flame. 7. And the earth will be submerged, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed, and there will be a judgment upon everything, and upon all the just. 8. But to the just he will give peace, and will protect the chosen, and mercy will abide with them, and they will all be gods and will be prosperous and blessed, and the light of God will shine for them. 9. And behold, he comes with myriads of the holy to pass judgment upon them, and will destroy the impious, and will call to account all flesh for everything the sinners and the impious have done and committed against him. Chapter 2. 1. I observed everything that took place in the heavens, how the luminaries, which are in the heavens, do not depart from their paths, that each one rises and sets in order, each in its time, and they do not depart from their laws. 2. See the earth and observe the things that are done on it, from the first to the last, how no work of God is irregular in appearing. 3. See the summer and the winter, how then the whole earth is full of water, and clouds, and dew and rain rest over it. Chapter 3. 1. I observed and saw how then all the trees appeared as if withered, and all their leaves are shaken off, except 14 trees, whose leaves are not shaken off, but which abide with the old from 2 to 3 years, till the new come. Chapter 4. 1. And again I observed the days of summer, how the sun is then above it, i.e. the earth, opposite to it, but you seek cool and shady places on account of the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with fervent heat, but you cannot step on the earth or on a rock because of their heat. Chapter 5. 1. I observed how the trees cover themselves with the green of the leaves and bear fruit, but observe you all this and learn how he who lives forever has made all these for you. 2. How his works are before him in every year that comes, and all his works serve him and are not changed, but as God has ordained, so everything takes place. 3. And see how the seas and the rivers together accomplish their work. 4. But you have not persevered and have not done the commandment of the Lord, but have transgressed, and have slandered his greatness with high and hard words from your unclean mouths. You hard-hearted, you will have no peace. 5. And therefore you will curse your days, and the years of your lives perish, the everlasting curse will increase and you will receive no mercy. 6. On that day you will give away your peace for an everlasting curse to all the just, and they will ever curse you as sinners, you together with the sinners. 7. But for the chosen, there will be light and joy and peace, and they will inherit the earth, but for you, the impious, there will be a curse. 8. And then also wisdom will be given to the chosen, and they will all live and not continue to sin, neither through wickedness nor through pride, but they in whom there is wisdom will be humble without continuing to sin. 9. And they will not be punished all the days of their lives, and will not die through plagues or judgments of wrath, but the number of the days of their lives will be completed, and their lives will become old in peace, and the years of their joy will be many in everlasting happiness and peace, for all the days of their lives. Chapter 6. 1. And it came to pass after the children of men had increased in those days, beautiful and comely daughters were born to them. 2. And the angels, the sons of the heavens, saw and lusted after them, and said one to another, Behold, we will choose for ourselves wives from among the children of men, and will beget for ourselves children. 3. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that perhaps you will not be willing to do this deed, and I alone will suffer for this great sin. 4. Then all answered him and said, We all will swear an oath, and bind ourselves mutually by a curse, that we will not give up this plan, but will make this plan a deed. 5. Then they all swore together and bound themselves mutually by a curse, and together they were 200. 6. And they descended on Ardis, which is the summit of Mount Hermon, and they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn on it and bound themselves mutually by a curse. 7. And these are the names of their leaders: Semjaza, who was their leader, Urikibrameel, Akabeel, Tamiel, Ramuel, Danel, Ezekiel, Sarak-Jal, Osoel, Armas, Batral, Anani, Zakib, Samsaveel, Sartarel, Tural, Jomjael, Arazjal. 8. These are the leaders of the 200 angels, and the others all were with them. Chapter 7. 1. And they took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to visit them, and mixed with them, and taught them charms and conjurations, and made them acquainted with the cutting of roots and of woods. 2. And they became pregnant and brought forth great giants whose stature was 3 u and ells. 3. These devoured all the acquisitions of mankind until men were unable to sustain themselves. 4. And the giants turned themselves against mankind in order to devour them. 5. And they began to sin against the birds and the beasts, and against the creeping things, and the fish, and devoured their flesh among themselves, and drank the blood thereof. 6. Then the earth complained of the unjust ones. Chapter 8. 1. And Azazel taught mankind to make swords and knives and shields and coats of mail, and taught them to see what was behind them, and their works of art, bracelets and ornaments, and the use of rouge, and the beautifying of the eyebrows, and the dearest and choicest stones and all coloring substances and the metals of the earth. 2. And there was great wickedness and much fornication, and they sinned, and all their ways were corrupt. 3. Amezerach taught all the conjurers and root cutters, Amaros the loosening of conjurations, Barakal the astrologers, Kokabel the signs, and Temel taught astrology, and Asradel taught the course of the moon. 4. And in the destruction of mankind, they cried aloud, and their voices reached heaven. Chapter 9. 1. Then Michael and Gabriel and Surgeon and Urgeon looked down from heaven and saw the great amount of blood which had been spilled on the earth, and all the wickedness which had been committed over the earth. 2. And they said to one another, the emptied earth re-echoes the sound of their, i.e., mankind's, cries up to the gates of heaven. 3. And now to you, O you holy ones of heaven, cry the souls of men, saying, secure us judgment before the Most High. 4. And they spoke to their Lord, to the King, O Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, the throne of your majesty is among all the generations of the world, and your name, holy and glorious, among all the generations of the world. You are blessed and praised. 5. You have made all things, and all power is with you. All things are open before you and uncovered, and you see all things, and nothing can hide from you. 6. See then what Azazel has done, how he has taught all wickedness on earth and has revealed the secrets of the world which were prepared in the heavens. 7. And Semjaza, to whom you have given the power to be chief of his associates, has made known conjurations. 8. And they have gone together to the daughters of men and have slept with them, with those women, and have defiled themselves, and have revealed to them these sins. 9. And the women have brought forth giants, and thereby the whole earth has been filled with blood and wickedness. 10. And now, behold, the souls which have died cry and lament to the gates of heaven, and their groans ascend, and they are not able to escape from the wickedness which is committed on the earth. 11. And you know everything before it comes to pass, and you know this and their circumstances, and yet you do not speak to us. What will we do in regard to this? Chapter 10. 1. Then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke and sent Ashjalalja to the son of Lamech, and said to him, 2. Tell him in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end which is to come. For the whole earth will be destroyed, and the water of the deluge is about to come over the whole earth, and what is upon it will be destroyed. 3. And now instruct him that he may escape and his seed remain on the whole earth. 4. And again the Lord spoke to Ruphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and put him in the darkness, make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudale, and put him there. 5. And lay upon him rough and pointed rocks, and cover him with the darkness that he may remain there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light. 6. And on the great day of judgment, he will be cast into the fire. 7. And heal the earth which the angels have defiled, and announce the healing of the earth that I will heal it, and that not all the sons of men will be destroyed through the mystery of all the things which the watchers have spoken and have taught their sons. 8. And the whole earth was defiled through the example of the deeds of Azazel, to him ascribe all the sins. 9. And God said to Gabriel, Go against the bastards and those cast off, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers from among men, lead them out, and let them loose that they may destroy each other by murder, for their days will not be long. 10. And they will all supplicate you, but their fathers will secure nothing for them, although they expect an everlasting life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. 11. And God said to Michael, Announce to Semjaza and to the others who are with him, who have bound themselves to women, to be destroyed with them in all their contamination. 12. When all their sons will have slain one another, and they will have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them under the hills of the earth for 70 generations, till the day of their judgment and of their end, till the last judgment has been passed for all eternity. 13. And in those days they will be led to the abyss of fire, in torture, and in prison they will be locked for all eternity. 14. And then he will burn, and be destroyed, they will be burned together from now on to the end of all generations. 15. And destroy all souls of lust and the children of the watchers, because they have oppressed mankind. 16. Destroy all oppression from the face of the earth, and all wicked deeds will cease, and the plant of justice and righteousness will appear, and deeds will become a blessing, justice and righteousness will be planted in joy forever. 17. Then all the just will bend the knee, and they will remain alive till they bring forth 1,000 children, and they will complete all the days of their youth and their Sabbath in peace. 18. And in those days the whole earth will be worked in justice, and will all be planted with trees, and will be full of blessings. 19. And all the trees of desire will be planted on it, and vines will be planted on it, the vine planted on it will bear fruit in abundance. And of all the seed sown on it 1 measure will bear 10,000, and 1 measure of olives will make 10 presses of oil. 20. And cleanse you the earth of all oppression and all injustice and all sin and all wickedness and all uncleanness which are produced on the earth. Eradicate them from the earth. 21. And all the children of men will become just, and all the nations will worship me as God, and bless, and all will worship me. 22. And the earth will be cleansed of all corruption and all sin and all punishment and all torment, and I will never again send a flood upon it, from generation to generation, to eternity. Chapter 11. 1. And in those days I will open the storerooms of blessings which are in heaven, in order to bring them down upon the earth, upon the deeds and labor of the children of men. 2. Peace and rectitude will become associates in all the days of the world, and in all the generations of the world. Chapter 12. 1. And previous to all these things Enoch was hidden, and not one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he was, and what had become of him. 2. And all his deeds were with the holy ones and with the watchers in his days. 3. And I, Enoch, was praising the great Lord and the King of the world, and, behold, the watchers called to me, Enoch, the scribe, and said to me, For, Enoch, you scribe of justice, go, announce to the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven and the holy, eternal place, and have contaminated themselves with women, and have done as the children of men do, and have taken to themselves wives, and are contaminated in great contamination upon the earth. 5. But upon earth they will have no peace, nor forgiveness of sin, for they will not enjoy their children. 6. They will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will lament over the destruction of their children and will petition to eternity, but mercy and peace will not be unto them. Chapter 13. 1. And Enoch, departing, said to Azazel, You will have no peace, a great condemnation has come upon you, and he, i.e. Raphael, compared to 10:4, will bind you. 3. And I, Enoch, was praising the great Lord and the King of the world, and, behold, the watchers called to me, Enoch, the scribe, and said to me, For, Enoch, you scribe of justice, go, announce to the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven and the holy, eternal place, and have contaminated themselves with women, and have done as the children of men do, and have taken to themselves wives, and are contaminated in great contamination upon the earth. 5. But upon earth they will have no peace, nor forgiveness of sin, for they will not enjoy their children. 6. They will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will lament over the destruction of their children and will petition to eternity, but mercy and peace will not be unto them. Chapter 13. 1. And Enoch, departing, said to Azazel, You will have no peace, a great condemnation has come upon you, and he, i.e. Raphael, compare to 10:4, will bind you. 2. Nd alleviation and intercession and mercy will not be unto you, because you have taught oppression, and because of all the deeds of abuse, oppression, and sin which you show to the children of men. 3. And then going, I spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, fear and trembling seized them. 4. And they asked me to write a memorial petition for them that they thereby might attain forgiveness, and to carry their memorial petition before God into heaven. 5. For they could not, from now on, speak with him, nor could they raise their eyes towards heaven from shame on account of their sins for which they were being punished. 6. Then I wrote this memorial petition and prayed with reference to their souls and for each of their deeds, and for that which they had asked of me, that they thereby might obtain forgiveness and patience. 7. And going I sat down near the waters of Dan in Dan, which is to the right, i.e. south, of the evening side, i.e. west, of Hermon, and read their memorial petition till I fell asleep. 8. And, behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell upon me, and I saw the vision of chastisement to show to the sons of heaven, and to upbraid them. 9. And having become awake I went to them, and they were all sitting assembled lamenting at Ables jail, which is between the Lebanon and Sanasa, with their faces covered. 10. And I related before them all the visions that I had seen in my sleep and commenced to speak those words of justice and to upbraid the watchmen of heaven. Chapter 14. 1. This writing is the word of justice and the admonition of the watchers, who are from eternity, as the Holy and Great One commanded it in this vision. 2. I saw in my sleep what I now will relate with a tongue of flesh and with my breath, which the Great One has given to the mouth of men that they might converse with it and understand it in their hearts. 3. As he has created and given to men the power to understand the word of knowledge, thus also he has created me and given to me the power to upbraid the watchers, the sons of heaven. 4. I have written your petition, and in my vision it appeared to me thus, that your petition will not be granted in all the days of the world, and that judgment has been passed over you, and nothing will be granted unto you. 5. And from now on you will not ascend into heaven to all eternity, and upon the earth, it has been decreed, they will bind you for all the days of the world. 6. But before this, you will have seen the destruction of your beloved children, and you will not be able to possess them, but they will fall before you by the sword. 7. Your petition for them will not be granted unto you, nor the one for yourselves, and while you are weeping and praying you cannot speak a single word from the writing which I have written. 8. And the vision appeared to me thus. Behold, clouds in the vision invited me and a fog invited me, and the course of the stars and lightning drove and pressed me, and the winds in the vision gave me wings and drove me. 9. And they lifted me up into heaven, and I went till I approached near a wall which was built of crystals and a tongue of fire surrounded it, and it began to cause me to fear. 10. And I went into the tongue of fire and approached near to a large house, which was built of crystals, and the walls of this house were like a floor inlaid with crystals, and the groundwork was of crystals. 11. The ceiling was like the course of the stars and of the lightning, and cherubim of fire were between them, and their heaven was water. 12. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its doors burned with fire. 13. And I went into this house, and it was hot like fire and cold like ice, and there was nothing pleasant and no life in it, fear covered me, and trembling seized me. 14. And as I was shaking and trembling, I fell down on my face and saw in a vision. 15. And behold, there was a second house, larger than the other, all whose doors stood open before me, and it was built with a tongue of fire. 16. And in all things, it excelled in grandeur and magnificence and size, so that I cannot describe to you its magnificence and its size. 17. Its floor was fire, and above it was lightning and the course of the stars, and its ceiling was also a flaming fire. 18. And I looked and saw therein a high throne, its appearance was like the hoarfrost, and its circuit like a shining sun and voices of the cherubim. 19. And from under the great throne came streams of flaming fire, and it was impossible to look at it. 20. And he who is great in majesty sat thereon, his garment shone more brilliantly than the sun and was whiter than any hail. 21. None of the angels were able to enter, nor any flesh to look upon the form of the face of the majestic and honored one. 2. And now to the watchers who have sent you that you should petition for them who were formerly in heaven say, 3. You have been in heaven, and though the secrets were not yet revealed to you, still you knew illegitimate mysteries, and these you have, in the hardness of your hearts, related to the women, and through these mysteries, women, and men, increase wickedness over the earth. For, tell them, therefore, you have no peace. Chapter 17. 1. And they took me to a place where there were images like a flaming fire, and when they wished they appeared like men. 2. And he led me to the place of the whirlwind, and on a hill, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. 3. And I saw shining places, and the thunder at the ends thereof, in the depths thereof a bow of fire, and arrows, and their quiver, and a sword of fire, and all lightning. 4. And they took me to the so-called water of life, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. 5. And I came to a river of fire, whose fire flows like water, and is entered into a great sea which is towards the west. 6. And I saw all the great rivers, and came to the great darkness, and went there where all flesh wanders. 7. And I saw the mountains of the black clouds of winter and the place where all the waters of the deep flow. 8. And I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth and the mouth of the deep. Chapter 18. 1. And I saw the repositories of all the winds, and I saw how he had ornamented all the creation and the foundations of the earth with them. 2. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth, and I saw the four winds which support the earth and the firmament of the heavens. 3. And I saw how the winds expand the heights of the heavens, and they remained between heaven and earth, and they are pillars of heaven. 4. And I saw the winds which turn the heavens, which lead down the course of the sun and all the stars. 5. And I saw the winds upon the earth which carry the clouds, and I saw the paths of the angels, I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heavens above. 6. And I proceeded towards the south, and it burns day and night there where 7 hills of precious stones are, 3 towards the east, 3 towards the south. 7. But of those towards the east, 1 of colored stone, 1 of pearls, and 1 of antimony, and those towards the south of red stone. 8. But the middle one reached up to heaven, like the throne of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne of sapphire. 9. And I saw a burning fire which was in all the hills. 10. And there I saw a place, beyond the great earth, there the waters collected. 11. And I saw a great abyss in the earth, with columns of heavenly fire, and I saw among them columns of heavenly fire, which fall, and are without number, either towards the height or towards the depth. 12. And over that abyss, I saw a place which had no firmament of heaven above it, and no foundation of earth beneath it, and no water above it, and no birds upon it, it was a void place. 13. And there I saw a terrible thing, 7 stars, like great burning mountains and like spirits, that petitioned me. 14. The angel said, This is the place of the consummation of heaven and earth, it is a prison for the stars of heaven, and for the host of heaven. 15. And the stars that roll over the fire are they who have transgressed the command of God before their rising, because they did not come forth in their time. 16. And he was enraged at them, and bound them till the time of the consummation of their sins in the year of the mystery. Chapter 19. 1. And Uriel said to me, Here will stand the souls of those angels who have united themselves with women, and having assumed many different forms, have contaminated mankind, and have led them astray so that they brought offerings to the demons as to gods, namely on the day when the great judgment, on which they will be judged, will be consummated. 2. And their women having led astray the angels of heaven, will be like their friends. 3. And I, Enoch, alone saw this vision, the ends of all, and no man has seen them as I have seen them. Chapter 20. 1. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch. 2. Uriel, one of the holy angels, the angel of thunder and of trembling. 3. Ruphael, one of the holy angels, the angel of the spirits of men. 4. Rigel, one of the holy angels, who takes vengeance on the earth and the luminaries. 5. Michael, one of the holy angels, namely set over the best portion of men, over the people. 6. Sarakel, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits of the children of men who induce the spirits to sin. 7. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the serpents and over the paradise and the cherubim. Chapter 21. 1. And I went around to a place where not one thing took place. 2. And I saw there something terrible, no high heavens, no founded earth, but a void place, awful and terrible. 3. And there I saw 7 stars of heaven, tied together to it, like great mountains, and flaming as if by fire. 4. At that time I said, on account of what sin are these bound, and why have they been cast here? 5. And then answered Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, conducting me, and said to me, Enoch, concerning what do you ask, and concerning what do you inquire, and ask, and art anxious? 6. These are of the stars who have transgressed the command of God, the highest, and are bound here till 10,000 worlds, the number of the days of their sins, will have been consummated. 7. And from there I went to another place which was still more terrible than the former. And I saw a terrible thing, a great fire was there, which burned and flickered and appeared in sections, it was bounded by a complete abyss, great columns of fire were allowed to fall into it, its extent and size I could not see, and I was unable to see its origin. 8. At that time I said, how terrible this place is, and painful to look at. 9. At that time answered Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, he answered and said to me, Enoch, why such fear and terror in you concerning this terrible place and in the presence of this pain? 10. And he said to me, this is the prison of the angels, and here they are held to eternity. Chapter 22. 1. And from here I went to another place, and he showed me in the west a great and high mountain chain and hard rocks and 4 beautiful places. 2. And beneath them, there were places deep and broad and entirely smooth, as smooth as if a thing were rolled, and deep and dark to look at. 3. And this time, Raphael, one of the holy angels, who was with me, answered and said to me, these beautiful places are intended for this, that upon them may be assembled the spirits, the souls of the dead, for they have been created, that here all the souls of the sons of men might be assembled. 4. These places have been made their dwellings till the day of their judgment, and to their fixed period, and this period is long, till the great judgment will come over them. 5. And I saw the spirits of the children of men who had died, and their voices reached up to heaven and lamented. 6. At that time I asked the angel Raphael, who was with me, and said to him, whose soul is that one whose voice thus reaches to heaven and laments? 7. And he answered and said to me, saying, that is the spirit that proceeded from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. And it laments on his account till his seed be destroyed from the face of the earth and his seed disappear from among the seed of men. 8. And at that time I, therefore, asked concerning him, and concerning the judgment of all, and said, why is one separated from the other? 9. And he answered and said to me, these 3 apartments are made in order to separate the souls of the dead. And thus are the souls of the just separated, there is a spring of water, above it, light. 10. And thus also is one such apartment made for the sinners when they die, and are buried in the earth, without a judgment having been passed upon them during their lives. 11. Here their souls are separated in this great affliction until the great day of judgment and punishment and affliction upon the revilers to eternity, and the vengeance for their souls, and here he binds them to eternity. 12. And if it was before eternity, then this apartment has been made for the souls of those who lament and those who reveal their destruction when they were killed in the days of the sinners. 13. And thus it has been created for the souls of men who were not just, but sinners, who were complete in their crimes, and they will be with criminals like themselves, but their souls will not be killed on the day of judgment and will not be taken from here. 14. At that time I blessed the Lord of glory, and said, blessed is my Lord, the Lord of glory and of justice, who rules all things to eternity. Chapter 23. 1. And from there I went to another place towards the west, to the ends of the earth. 2. And I saw a flaming fire which ran without resting, and did not cease from its course day or night, but continued regularly. 3. And I asked saying, what is that which has no rest? 4. At that time answered Rigel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and said to me, That burning fire which you see running towards the west is the fire of all the luminaries of heaven. Chapter 24. 1. And from there I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain chain of fire which flamed day and night. 2. And I went towards it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, each one different from the other, and magnificent and beautiful rocks, everything magnificent and fine in appearance and of beautiful surface, 3 towards the east, 1 founded upon the other, and 3 towards the south, 1 founded upon the other, and ravines, deep and winding, not one joining with the other. 3. And the 7th hill was between these, and in their heights they were all like the seats of a throne and surrounded with fragrant trees. 4. And among them was a tree such as I had never smelt before, neither among these nor among others, nor was there a fragrance like its leaves and buds and would do not wither in eternity, its fruit is beautiful, like the fruit of the vine and the palm tree. 5. And at that time I said, Behold, this is a beautiful tree and beautiful to look at, and its leaves are fair, and its fruit very pleasant to the eye. 6. At that time answered Michael, one of the holy and honored angels, who was with me, who was over them, i.e. the trees. Chapter 25. 1. And he said to me, Enoch, what do you ask me concerning the fragrance of this tree and do seek to know? 2. Then I, Enoch, answered him, saying, Concerning all things I desire to know, but especially concerning this tree. 3. And he answered me, saying, This high mountain which you have seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is the throne where the holy and great God of glory, the eternal King, will sit when he will descend to visit the earth with goodness. 4. And this tree of beautiful fragrance cannot be touched by any flesh until the time of the great judgment, when all things will be atoned for and consummated for eternity. This will be given to the just and humble. 5. From its fruits life will be given to the chosen, it will be planted towards the north, in a holy place, towards the house of the Lord, the eternal King. 6. Then they will rejoice greatly, and be glad in the Holy One, they will let its fragrance enter their members, and live a long life upon the earth, as your fathers lived, and in their days no sorrow or sickness or trouble or affliction will touch them. 7. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, the eternal King, because he had prepared such for the just men, and had created such, and said he would give it to them. Chapter 26. 1. And from here I went to the middle of the earth, and saw a place, blessed and fruitful, where there were branches which rooted in and sprouted out of a tree that was cut. 2. And here I saw a holy mountain, and beneath the mountain, towards the east, water which flowed towards the south. 3. And I saw towards the east another mountain of the same height, and between them a deep valley, but not broad, therein also water flowed along the mountain. 4. And towards the west of this was another mountain, lower than the former, not high, and below, between them, a valley, and other deep and sterile valleys were at the end of the 3. 5. And all the valleys were deep and not broad, of hard rock. And trees were planted upon them. 6. And I was astonished on account of the rocks, and was astonished on account of the valley, and was very much astonished. Chapter 27. 1. Then I said, For what purpose is this blessed land, which is entirely filled with trees, and this cursed valley between them? 2. Then answered Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and said to me, This cursed valley is for those who will be cursed to eternity, and here will be assembled all those who have spoken with their mouths unseemly words against God, and speak insolently of his glory. Here they will be assembled, and here will be their judgment. 3. And in the latter days there will be the spectacle of a just judgment upon them in the presence of the just, in eternity forever. For this reason they who have found mercy will bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. 4. And in the days of their judgment they will bless him for his mercy, according to which he has assigned to them their lot. 5. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and spoke to him, and remembered his greatness, as it is fitting. Chapter 28. 1. And from here I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountains of the desert, and saw only a plain. 2. But it was filled with trees of this seed, and water dropped down over it from above. 3. It was seen that the water which it sucked up was strong, as towards the north, so towards the west, and as in all places, so water and dew also ascended from here. Chapter 29. 1. And I went to another place, away from the desert, approaching the east of the mountains. 2. And there I saw trees of judgment, especially those that emitted the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and they were not like ordinary trees. Chapter 30. 1. And above, over these, over the eastern mountain, not far off, I saw another place, valleys with water that does not dry up. 2. And I saw a beautiful tree, and its fragrance was like that of a mastic. 3. And along the edges of these valleys, I saw fragrant cinnamon. And I advanced over these towards the east. Chapter 31. 1. And I saw another mountain in which were trees from which water flowed, and it flowed like nectar, which is called Syria and Galbanum. 2. And over this mountain, I saw another mountain, on which were aloe trees, and these trees were full of hard substance like almonds. 3. And in taking that fruit it was better than all the odors. Chapter 32. 1. And after these odors, as I looked towards the north, over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of pleasant nard and fragrant trees and cinnamon and pepper. 2. And from here I went over the summits of those mountains, far towards the east, and passed far above the Erythraean Sea, and went far from it and passed over the Angel's Hotel. 3. And I came into the garden of justice, and I saw the mingled diversity of those trees. Many and large trees are planted there, of attractive beauty and large and beautiful and magnificent, also the tree of wisdom, eating of it one learns great wisdom. 4. It is like the carob tree, and its fruit is like the grape, very good, the fragrance of this tree goes out and is spread far. 5. And I said, this tree is beautiful, how beautiful and pleasant to look at. 6. Then the holy angel Raphael, who was with me, answered and said to me, this is the tree of wisdom from which your old father and your aged mother, who were before you, ate, and they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they learned that they were naked, and were driven out of the garden. Chapter 33. 1. And from here I went to the ends of the earth, and saw great animals there, and one differed from the other, and the birds differed as to their appearance, their beauty and voices, one differed from the other. 2. And to the east of these animals, I saw the ends of the earth, where the heavens rest and the portals of the heavens open. 3. And I saw where the stars come out from heaven, and I counted the portals out of which they come, and I wrote down all their outlets, each one, according to their number and their names, their connections, and their positions and their times and their months, as the angel Uriel, who was with me, showed them to me. For he showed all things to me and wrote them down for me, also their names he wrote for me, and their laws and their deeds. Chapter 34. 1. And from here I went towards the north, to the ends of the earth, and there I saw a great and magnificent wonder, at the ends of the whole earth. 2. There I saw 3 portals of heaven open in the heavens, from each of them proceed north winds, when one of them blows, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. 3. And out of one of the portals it blows for good, but when it blows from the 2 other portals, it blows with power, and there is misfortune upon the earth, and they blow with great power. Chapter 35. 1. And from here I went towards the west, to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals, as I had seen in the east, similar portals, and similar outlets. Chapter 36. 1. And from here I went towards the south, to the ends of the earth, and there I saw 3 open portals of heaven, out of them come the south wind and dew and rain and wind. 2. And from here I went towards the east to the ends of the heavens, and there I saw the 3 portals of heaven open towards the east, and over them small portals. 3. Through each one of these small portals the stars of the heavens come and go every evening on the path which is shown to them. 4. And as I looked, I blessed, and thus each time I blessed the Lord of glory, who had made the great and glorious wonders, to show the greatness of his work to the angels and to the souls of men, that they might praise his work, and that all his creatures might see the works of his might, and praise the great work of his hand, and bless him to eternity.